Today, we're diving into Deborah Ellis's absolutely unforgettable trilogy, The Breadwinner. It's a powerful story about raw courage and survival, all seen through the eyes of a young girl in Afghanistan whose entire world gets turned upside down. And it all starts with these words from Parvana's father. Just imagine them, spoken to his daughters in a tiny, cramped room in Kabul. This one quote really sets the stage for everything that's about to happen. It's all about the incredible resilience of women and girls. So, let's set the scene. We're in Kabul, Afghanistan, under the brutal rule of the Taliban. And this is where we meet our main character, an 11-year-old girl named Parvana. And this, right here, tells you everything you need to know about Parvana from the get-go. She is bright, she's capable, she's been educated by her parents, but she has to whisper. Her voice, her intelligence, her very potential, it all has to be hidden. You have to understand, the world Parvana is living in is just crushing. The Taliban have systematically taken away almost every right from women and girls. Things like education, a job, even just leaving the house without a man, all forbidden. And this wasn't just a list of rules, right? This was the suffocating reality of daily life. Every single part of life was controlled. Parvana's family, who were once middle class and educated, are now stuck in a single room, completely dependent on her father, a man who's lost a leg and can barely even walk. And just when you think things can't get any worse, they do. This fragile life they've built is completely shattered, forcing Parvana into a role that is both absolutely terrifying and, in a strange way, liberating. Soldiers just show up and drag her father away to prison. His crime? Having a foreign education. And just like that, the family's lifeline is cut. There's no man to go outside with, no one to earn money. They're facing actual starvation, trapped in that one-room apartment. So what do? Well, they come up with a plan that is as radical as it is dangerous. The scene where Parvana's mother cuts her hair, it's just heartbreaking. With every snip of those scissors, it feels like her childhood is being cut away. She puts on the clothes of her brother Hussein, who'd been killed by a landmine. And just like that, Parvana is gone. Now she is Qasim. I mean, think about this contrast for a second. As a girl, Parvana was invisible because she had to be hidden away. But as a boy, she becomes invisible in a totally new way. She's just another face in the crowd. And this new invisibility, it gives her freedom. Freedom to move, freedom to work, and the freedom to become the only thing standing between her family and starvation. So now she's Qasim, and she steps into this grim, gritty world of Kabul's working boys. She even takes over her father's old spot on the market, using her ability to read and write to make a little money helping others. But, of course, it's not enough money. She runs into an old friend from school, Shauzia, who's also disguised as a boy. And together, driven by pure desperation, they take on a job that is, well, it's almost too gruesome to even imagine. They become bone diggers. And yes, it is exactly as awful as it sounds. In a city that's been shattered by bombs, the explosions have churned up the old cemeteries. So these kids, these little girls, disguised as boys, spend their days digging up human bones to sell by the pound. This is what survival looks like for them. And yet somehow, in the middle of all this absolute horror, you get this moment. Parvana unearths a skull. And that's what Shauzia says. It's this flash of dark, childish humor. It's a coping mechanism, right? It just shows you how these kids are forced to normalize the absolute unthinkable just to get through another day. Just as Parvana is starting to adapt to this new, brutal life, the rug is completely pulled out from under her. War and tragedy all crash down at once, and she is left utterly, terrifyingly alone. I mean, look at how quickly this all happens. It's just one devastating blow after another. Her family leaves for the north while she's out working one day. Her father is finally let out of prison, but he's a broken man, sick and beaten. They set out on foot to find the rest of the family, but he doesn't make it. He dies. And just like that, Parvana has nothing and no one left in the world. But she doesn't stay alone for long. As she wanders through this war-ravaged country, she starts to collect other lost children. There's a baby, Hassan, who's the sole survivor of a village massacre, a bitter, one-legged boy named Asif, and a little girl, Layla, who's been living by herself in the middle of a minefield. And that brings us to the final part of her journey. After an absolutely brutal trek,
Parvana and her small, makeshift family find their way to a refugee camp. But let me tell you, this is not a safe haven.
Yeah, this is not a happy ending. The camp is just a sea of mud and tents and total desperation. It's freezing cold, it's overcrowded, and they're always short on food and medicine. This isn't the end of the struggle, it's just the next stage of it. But even here, in this bleak place, there's this tiny, beautiful moment. Parvana asks a French aid worker about a picture her friend Shauzia used to carry, a picture of lavender fields in France. And this little exchange is so important. It's a reminder that even when things are at their absolute worst, dreams of beauty and a different life, that's what can keep you going. So this is her new reality. She started out as one of 6 in her family. Now, at just 13 years old, she is the head of this brand new, broken, found family of 4 orphans, and she's responsible for all of them. And it's so important to get this. There is no big, triumphant Hollywood ending here. Parvana doesn't find her family. The war isn't over. The victory, the real triumph, is survival itself. The story shows us that sometimes the most profound act of courage is just the simple, stubborn refusal to give up. And that's really what this whole trilogy leaves you wrestling with, isn't it? It forces you to ask yourself that question. It's a story of unimaginable loss, but it's also just this incredible testament to the resilience of the human spirit, and especially the spirit of a child.